Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're stepping into a genuinely profound, deeply spiritual world. We're diving into the 800-year-old wisdom of the revered Sufi saint Baba Farid Ji. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, what on earth can an ancient mystic teach us about our lives today? Well, what's incredibly fascinating is that his insights actually provide a near-perfect cure for our modern epidemic of hustle culture, burnout, and just everyday existential dread. We'll be unpacking his timeless metaphors and symbols, the exact same ones that have guided people toward truth, love, and simplicity for centuries. Okay, let's jump right into this ocean of wisdom.
I mean, be honest with yourself for a second here. With time slipping through our fingers so incredibly fast and our bodies constantly aging, we're all ultimately searching for the real meaning of life, aren't we? It is absolutely amazing how perfectly words written 8 centuries ago map onto our fast-paced, chaotic lives today. In this explainer, we're going to trace a path straight from our everyday modern anxieties right into some seriously profound spiritual truths.
Section 1. The Reality of Wasted Time.
So this is where Baba Farid Ji essentially holds up a mirror to how we squander our days and the inevitable physical toll it takes on us. There's this ancient couplet that reads, Farida char gavaya hasan ke char gavaya sam, lekha rab mangesiya tu aho kere kam. The translation is incredibly direct, and honestly, it's a huge wake-up call. It means humanity wastes the 4 phases of the day just wandering aimlessly, and the 4 phases of the night merely sleeping. But ultimately, the divine is going to ask for an accounting. The question will be, what deeds did you actually come into this world to do? Think about our modern routines for a second. We wander all day through menial tasks, maybe endlessly doom scrolling on our phones, and then we sleep all night, completely aimless. We can basically break the meaning of that couplet down into 3 harsh realities. First, we spend our lives just wandering without any real higher purpose. Second, we lose our absolute most precious commodity, our time, to sleep and ignorance. And third, the absolutely crucial point here is ultimate accountability. This literally demands that we stop what we're doing and ask ourselves, are we using our time for something meaningful, or are we just throwing it away chasing worldly illusions? And, if you think you have all the time in the world to figure this all out, Baba Farid Ji offers this incredibly striking physical metaphor. Buddha hoa Sheikh Farid kambal lagi de. This translates to an aging body shivering like a blanket. It's just such a vivid, unmistakable picture of old age and physical decline. It's an inescapable truth for every single one of us, serving as a stark reminder that physical strength is totally fleeting. You just can't rely on it forever. Section 2. Facing the end alone. As our physical strength fades, we inevitably have to confront the heavier truth of our mortality and the solitary nature of our spiritual consequences. Baba Farid Ji warns us, Apo apni chale mashiak ser dek. This essentially means that everyone's turn will come, and we should really look at those who have already departed this world. It's a powerful, sobering reminder that no human being can escape this final, entirely solitary journey. We all have to go. And that realization leads us to this genuinely haunting question, derived straight from the source text. When a person leaves this world completely alone, who bears the blows, the pain, and the consequences to the soul? Well, the answer is, you do. The spiritual outcome of our worldly actions must be faced by us, and us alone. That burden? It cannot be shared with your friends, your family, or your followers. Section 3. Birha, King of Emotions. This builds right into what I think is the most profound and emotional segment of the soul's journey, a very specific concept of spiritual separation known as birha. To really grasp birha, we first need to look at this incredibly vivid metaphor from Baba Farid Ji. He says, Farida chint katola duk bichona lep. He's using everyday mundane objects to describe the human condition. Imagine a bed. The bed frame itself is made out of our worries. The mattress we lie on is our sorrow. And the blanket we pull over ourselves, well, that is separation. This is the reality of human life, just totally surrounded by anxiety and grief. But the blanket, that separation, that requires a deeper look. This is birha. And birha is not just everyday sadness. It's the deep, unending longing and pain of separation from the divine. It's a vital ache. I want to be super clear here, this is not a negative emotion. It sounds heavy, but it is actually a necessary, almost counterintuitive pain. It is the exact pain that keeps the soul awake, alert, and truly alive. Without the specific spiritual connection, even the absolute sweetest worldly things just feel like poison.
In fact, the source text elevates Burha above absolutely everything else, calling it the Sultan, the king of all emotions. It sits so far above our standard worldly feelings, our fleeting moments of earthly happiness, or our mundane sadness. It is the supreme emotion because it's the one thing that connects us directly back to our spiritual source. And what if you don't have that connection? Well, Baba Farid Ji delivers this totally chilling realization. Jit tan virach na upuje, so tan jan masan. This translates to, a body in which the pain of this spiritual longing does not arise should be considered nothing more than a graveyard. Really think about the weight of that. A body without the ache of spiritual longing is literally just a walking tomb. It's our empathy, our longing, and our spiritual connection that actually make us alive.
Section 4. Devotion outlasts fading youth.
Let's shift our perspective upward a bit now, moving from that intense pain of separation to the enduring power of internal devotion. Because this is where we find real hope against the passage of time. Look at this beautiful insight. Joban jana dada jese prithana jai. The source so elegantly contrasts our fading temporary youth with permanent true devotion. Baba Farid Ji is basically telling us, hey, don't fear your fading youth. Let it fade. It's completely natural. What we should fear is losing our spiritual connection and our love for the divine. Because honestly, youth without that internal love is just going to wilt away and disappear regardless. Real, enduring energy doesn't come from having a young body. It comes from having an internal, lasting devotion.
Section 5. The power of simplicity.
So how do we actually practice this in our daily lives? Here is the comforting, really actionable resolution to all that existential dread we've been talking about. Baba Farid Ji gives us this incredibly famous couplet to explain exactly how to live. He says, Farida roti meri kachki, love and merry book. He uses a simple, everyday concept, food, specifically bread, to contrast a spiritually aligned, peaceful life with a superficial, materialistic one.
Notice the stark contrast he builds here. On one side, we have khat kiroti, or wooden bread. This represents simplicity, humility, and finding absolute total satisfaction where hunger itself is literally the only flavor you need. That brings true inner peace. But on the other side, we have chupari roti, the buttered bread. This represents luxury, showing off, and constantly chasing worldly desires. And while that buttered bread might look amazing on the outside or, look great flexing on your social media feed, the source makes it crystal clear that chasing it only brings ultimate suffering and immense pain to the soul. True peace is found exclusively in simplicity.
Okay, let's do a super quick recap of the incredible journey we've just taken through this ancient wisdom. Here are your 5 core takeaways for today. First, your time is incredibly limited, so stop wandering and focus on meaningful deeds. Second, always remember that your spiritual journey and your ultimate end are entirely solitary. You answer for yourself. Third, embrace birha. That deep spiritual longing is the very thing keeping your soul alive. Fourth, don't stress over getting older. True devotion vastly outlasts physical youth. And finally, real, lasting peace is found in absolute simplicity, not in the exhausting, never-ending pursuit of luxury.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. We learned today that a body without the pain of spiritual separation is just a graveyard. So ask yourself right now, what are you filling your life with? What is the force, the connection, or the purpose that gives your existence true life? Take some time today to reflect deeply on that. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, keep learning, keep reflecting, and keep seeking that true connection.